Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday morning, April the 2nd. Still quite an active weather pattern across much of the nation. We have the combination of a cold air outbreak that will cause some accumulating snow over the next few days, first in the upper part of the Midwest and then into the northeastern part of the nation. And on the warm side of the storm system, severe weather is certainly a threat later on today, tonight, and into the day on Wednesday. In fact, there's some severe thunderstorm activity right now that we'll talk about over the next few minutes. This is a current look at NOAA's weather warnings map all across the nation, and really this is the area of interest as there's winter weather and there's spring weather. In other words, there's accumulating snow in the picture here and some severe weather in the warm side. First of all, the yellows here represent tornado watches. And you can see right in the middle there's a little bit of a red right here in the Indiana-Kentucky border. That's a tornado warning. Radar has indicated possibility of some spin in the atmosphere. So right here in the warm side of this particular system, tornado watches and even a warning right now. Now, all the greens right in this region represent flash flood watches and warnings, and there's some heavy rain. We'll take a look at the radar in a moment over this part of the nation. Some heavy rain just basically moving over the same areas, what we call training, when radar echoes move over the same area, and that of course increases the amount of rainfall in a given area and leads to an increasing chance of flash flooding. So it's basically the Route 80 states from Illinois across Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. This flash flood watches may extend all the way to the east because there's some very heavy rain right now in this part of the Mid-Atlantic region as well. Again, there'll be training here. There'll be some more rainfall moving over the same areas over the next couple of days. Meanwhile, let's kind of clear the deck here and look a little bit farther to the north. Winter storm warnings and some winter weather advisories across basically Wisconsin, but this should very well extend into the western and northern part of Michigan over the next few hours, and in expectation of some accumulating snow later tomorrow into the day on Thursday. There's some winter storm watches already being posted for interior New York State and New England. Very likely to get accumulating snow, keeping ski season alive and well in places like Vermont and New Hampshire. And again, upstate New York all the way to Maine expects to see some accumulating snow in some areas, 6+ inches of heavy wet snow later tomorrow into the day on Thursday. May even see some snowflakes extending all the way down into east central Pennsylvania, perhaps even southeastern PA and northeastern part of Maryland late Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. So a lot going on in this part of the nation. By the way, it's a continuation of some Pacific storms to impact the western states over the next several days. Well, here's a current look at the radar from the College of DuPage weather website. I have this access at arcfieldweather.com as well. It's one of my favorite sites to go for radar maps. Now let's get the scale in here a little bit. Heavy rainfall impacting the south central and southeastern part of Pennsylvania over the last few hours and the northern part of Maryland. And again, we talked about the Route 80 states, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. All of this just kind of translating from west to east and running over the same areas in many cases, hence the flash flood watches and warnings in this area. Now, focus in here on the Indiana-Kentucky border. There's a squall line right here, even a tornado warning due to a spin in the atmosphere from the radar echoes. Unconfirmed, no confirmed reports of ground-based tornadoes as of yet, but this is a nasty looking line right here early in the day here on Tuesday. So again, watch out in the northern part of Kentucky and the southern part of Indiana. That's all headed towards southwestern Ohio as well. So this is some of that severe thunderstorm activity we've been talking about, and this whole area is encompassed in tornado watches right now. And again, this particular line right here may be causing some spin in the atmosphere, so be on the lookout over the next few hours. Meanwhile, to the north and west, you can kind of see a different texture of the radar echoes here, as is normally the case when it's snow. This is southeastern Minnesota and headed towards Wisconsin. Cold enough here for some snow to break out. And again, we saw a moment ago, a lot of this state of Wisconsin, both the lower and the upper part of Wisconsin, under the gun for some accumulating snow. There's winter storm warnings up in some areas and winter weather advisories in other areas, and that threat will extend into western and northern Michigan over the next several hours with some accumulating snow. So over the next few days, we have accumulating snow here in the upper Midwestern states of Wisconsin, parts of Minnesota, parts of Michigan, and then from later tomorrow into Thursday, this part of the nation, upstate New York, interior New York State, interior New England, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine can get especially hard hit. Again, later tomorrow into the day on Thursday. Well, let's take a look at last night's operational run of the GFS, a 0Z version here. We're looking at the vorticity field in the middle a part of the atmosphere, 500 millibars. Again, these are areas of stronger winds, what we call jet streaks in the upper part of the atmosphere, areas of rotation or spin in the upper part of the atmosphere, and they lead to upward motion down at the surface level. So it's important to track these vorticity maxima. And this is as we begin the day here on Tuesday. And first of all, notice this little area of energy aloft right here over Ohio. And again, right now we're seeing a line of strong to severe thunderstorms right along that Ohio River here across southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, and moving into the southwestern part of Ohio. A little bit of energy aloft supporting that squall line right now. Now, let's kind of push forward here. This system dives to the south from the northern plains into the upper part of the Midwest by tomorrow morning. Now, this is Wednesday morning. Very impressive looking pattern here in terms of strong support in the upper part of the atmosphere. Very deep upper level low here situated over the Midwest as of Wednesday morning, and it slowly moves to the east here, and you can expect the possibility of some severe weather on Wednesday. Let's say southern Virginia down into North Carolina, maybe even all the way up to not too far south of the D.C. metro region into the eastern part of Virginia during the day tomorrow into tomorrow night, with a lot of support in the upper part of the atmosphere. This is kind of sitting and spinning, and remember, there's cold air on the north side of this system with accumulating snow over the next 24 hours, Wisconsin and Michigan. That translates to interior New York and New England Wednesday into Thursday. Let's keep moving forward here. By the time we get to Thursday morning, a vigorous upper level low situated right over the Ohio Valley and a wide impacting area here from the Midwest all the way to the Northeast and all the way down to the Tennessee Valley and the Mid-Atlantic Carolina region here. A big system here by the time we get to Thursday morning. And notice again some activity out along the western coast of the U.S. Continuation of some Pacific Ocean storms impacting the western U.S. over the next several days here. Now we'll go all the way out to Friday morning, starting to slowly spin its way into the northeastern part of the nation, and it really will take until the upcoming weekend here Saturday morning, and finally by Sunday morning. It really takes that long for this system to finally kind of exit out over the western part of the Atlantic Ocean. In other words, the weather finally settles down in the northeastern states on Saturday and Sunday after a very active next few days. Even Friday has some instability with the possibility of some rain or snow showers in much of the northeastern part of the nation. Then we go through Sunday and into the day on Monday. And this is a system we'll have to watch because this happens to be the forecast map for Monday morning. Let's go out to midday on Monday, and here we go, midday on Monday, solar eclipse day, and of course that totality path extends from Texas across Arkansas all the way up into New England mid-afternoon on Monday, April 8th. I have to watch this system. It certainly can have an impact on cloud cover, especially from Ohio southwestward across Kentucky into Arkansas. We'll have to watch. This is another upper level low by the time we get to the middle of the day on Monday. Now let's wrap up by looking at the surface forecast maps. And again, there's some heavy rainfall in the Route 80 corridor from Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, all the way into Pennsylvania and Hence, we have a lot of flash flood watches and warnings up in that particular area. There'll be trains of waves of rain moving from west to east basically over the next 48 hours or so. And again, on the warm side of this system right here, right now, across the Ohio River, we have a squall line, maybe even a tornado, at least indicated by radar right here across the Indiana-Kentucky border. So watch out, southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, and soon in the southwestern part of Ohio for that possible severe thunderstorm activity. Cold enough for snow across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and eventually Michigan. And then by later tomorrow into tomorrow night and Thursday, we'll see snow in the northeastern states. Let's in fact push forward. A wave of heavy rain now over the Ohio Valley moves right along Route 80 across Pennsylvania later on today, and a continuation of some heavy rainfall right in that same area here by tonight. And watch out for severe weather in the southern part of the Ohio Valley and the southern part of the Mid-Atlantic, not only later on today, but tonight and Wednesday as well. We'll move into the day on Wednesday, and here we go on Wednesday. All snow up across Iowa, Wisconsin, even parts of Michigan will get some accumulating snow, and certainly eastern part of Minnesota, a snowstorm for the upward part of the Midwest here on April 3rd. That's tomorrow, Wednesday, April 3rd. Some more rain along the eastern seaboard here, and it gets finally reaches the northeastern states by tomorrow evening, and certainly becomes cold enough for some accumulating snow interior sections of New York State, and that eventually moves into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, maybe in portions of Massachusetts, central and western Massachusetts, to get in on some of the accumulating snow later tomorrow into Thursday. And that could actually translate all the way to the New England coastline. And again, there could be some snowflakes mixing in across east central Pennsylvania, maybe even southeastern PA, late tomorrow night into the day on Thursday. One system spins out there over the Midwest, and a secondary forms right along the northern Mid-Atlantic coastline here by late tomorrow night into early Thursday. Look at this snow right here on Thursday morning. New York State, New England, again, all the way from interior New York to northern Maine, accumulating snow in this first week of April here. Again, this is now Thursday morning forecast map. Still very unstable across the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic region. There can certainly be some more rain shower and snow shower activity later in the day on Thursday, going into Thursday night, really going into the day on Friday. We saw that upper air low only slowly moving to a position off the East Coast over the Western Atlantic over the upcoming weekend. A very slow moving system here. We go through the day on Thursday and then into the day on Friday. And still snow shower activity in that cold air mass here across just downstream of the Great Lakes here. There's kind of a very classic lake effect type snow pattern here with north to northwest winds. By the time we get to Friday, cold enough for snow. Maine to West Virginia as of midday on Friday, snow shower activity. And then it finally pulls away over the upcoming weekend. This is Saturday. It's still a slow movement to the east, still unsettled in New England as late Saturday. Finally, by Sunday, that kicks on out, and then we get into the day on Monday. Here we are, midday Monday, and again, this is solar eclipse day with that totality zone from Texas all the way up to New England, running from southwest to northeast. We may have a low pressure area to deal with midday on Monday over the upper part of the Midwest. Could certainly have an impact on clouds, let's say from Ohio on down to the south and west. Just a little too early to say. Looks a little bit more favorable the farther northeast you go here, New York and New England, but still several days away. And clouds are a very fickle weather parameter forecast this far in advance. So stay tuned on this. But this is the forecast map as of last night's 0Z run for midday on Monday. So very, very active weather pattern over the next few days. The Great Lakes, the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast U.S. It includes accumulating snow on the north side and severe weather on the south side, including right now. There's a squall line to watch southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, southwestern Ohio. That's it for now for ArcfieldWeather.com. This has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.